Hey everyone, welcome back to the AI Tech channel. Are we on the verge of a biological revolution? I'm not talking about gene editing breakthroughs, but something even more profound, programming life itself. Think about it. Writing code to design proteins, create new medicines, and maybe even, well, we'll get to the ethical stuff later. Today, we're diving deep into Latent Labs, a company that just landed a massive $50 million to do exactly that. Is this the future of medicine, or are we opening Pandora's box? Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. Okay, so what's all the hype about? Latent Labs, founded by a DeepMind alum, that's a huge deal right there, is aiming to make biology programmable using AI. They've secured a cool $50 million in funding to build foundation models that can design and optimize proteins. Think of it like this. Instead of painstakingly experimenting in a lab for years, scientists can use AI to predict the best protein structures for a specific therapeutic purpose. This isn't just incremental improvement, it's a paradigm shift. They're based in both London and San Francisco, pulling talent from DeepMind, Microsoft, and top universities. This is serious firepower. Let's break down the immediate impact. First, and most obviously, it's going to accelerate protein design. We're talking about potentially identifying drug candidates much faster. Imagine slashing years off the drug development timeline. That's the promise. Second, this kind of investment validates the power of AI in biology. Expect to see even more money flowing into similar startups and research initiatives. Third, jobs. Latent Labs is hiring, and this growth will fuel demand for AI researchers, protein engineers, and computational biologists. This is creating a whole new sector of high-skilled, high-paying jobs. And finally, expect partnerships. Latent Labs will be working directly with biotech and pharmaceutical companies, giving them access to their AI models and expertise. This could streamline their entire R&D process. But the effects don't stop there. Let's look at the second-order impacts. If AI-driven protein design takes off, it could reduce our reliance on traditional drug discovery methods. This could disrupt the business models of companies that provide services in those areas. We'll also see a surge in demand for AI infrastructure and computing power. These models require serious processing power, which means more business for companies like NVIDIA and AWS. And of course, there's going to be a huge demand for people with biocomputational skills. Universities will need to adapt their curriculums to train the next generation of AI-powered biologists. Don't forget regulations. As AI design drugs become more common, regulators will need to adapt their frameworks to address the unique challenges and opportunities. And finally, this could supercharge the field of synthetic biology, leading to new applications in biomaterials, biofuels, and even bioremediation. Okay, now let's zoom out even further and think about the big picture. What are the third-order, socioeconomic impacts? Faster drug development means faster access to new therapies, improving public health outcomes. More efficient drug discovery could lead to lower development costs and, ultimately, more affordable medications. The growth of AI-driven biology will stimulate economic growth in the biotech sector, creating new companies and attracting investment. But it's not all sunshine and roses. The ability to program biology raises serious ethical questions about the potential misuse of this technology. This will spark public debate, and we need to have a serious conversation about ethical guidelines. And finally, AI-driven protein design could enable personalized medicine, tailoring treatments to individual patients' genetic profiles. This could revolutionize healthcare, but we need to ensure equitable access to these personalized therapies. Now, let's talk about the risks. This isn't all guaranteed success. First, the technical risks. The entire value proposition hinges on the accuracy and reliability of Latent Labs' AI models. If these models don't accurately predict protein structures or functions, it's game over. We could see wasted resources, incorrect drug design, and ultimately failure. These models might perform well on certain types of proteins, but fail to generalize to others, limiting their applicability. Remember, these models are trained on data, and if that data is biased, the models will be biased too. And even with AI, we're still going to need wet lab validation, at least initially. This means that the AI predictions must be confirmed through traditional experiments, slowing down the process. And let's be honest, frontier model magic is hard. Progress might be slower than expected, or we might encounter fundamental limitations. Then there are the commercial risks. Latent Labs needs the biopharma industry to actually adopt their AI-driven approach. There's a risk that the industry might be hesitant, preferring traditional methods. And they're not the only player in this space. Companies like Isomorphic Labs are also working on similar technologies. Latent Labs needs to differentiate itself and demonstrate a clear competitive advantage. Their business model relies on partnerships, so managing those relationships effectively and protecting intellectual property is crucial. They also need to figure out the right pricing model for their AI services and demonstrate clear value to justify the cost. And by not developing their own therapeutic candidates, they're foregoing the potential for massive returns. They're betting on a service-based model, which might be less lucrative in the long run. Protecting their AI models and algorithms is critical. They need to establish strong intellectual property rights. And even if they design promising protein drugs, they still need to navigate the complex regulatory approval process. This process is lengthy and expensive. And let's not forget, $50 million is a lot of money, but drug discovery is incredibly capital-intensive. They'll likely need to raise more funding in the future, and there's no guarantee they'll be successful. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, the ethical risks. If AI-driven drug discovery leads to cheaper and faster drug development, we need to ensure that these benefits are accessible to everyone, not just the wealthy countries. The AI models could perpetuate or amplify existing biases in healthcare if the training data isn't carefully curated. This could lead to disparities in treatment outcomes. The automation of drug discovery could lead to job losses in traditional research roles. And manipulating proteins and biological systems could have unforeseen consequences for human health and the environment. We need rigorous testing and safety protocols. There are also dual-use concerns. This technology could potentially be misused for nefarious purposes, such as creating harmful biological agents. Safeguards need to be in place to prevent this. It's important to understand how the AI models are making their predictions. Lack of transparency could erode trust and make it difficult to identify and correct errors. And handling sensitive biological data requires strict adherence to privacy regulations and ethical guidelines. So, what's the verdict? Latent Labs' $50 million funding is a significant milestone in the development of AI-driven biology. It has the potential to revolutionize drug discovery, accelerate the development of new therapies, and transform the healthcare industry. But it also comes with significant technical, commercial, and ethical risks. Their success will depend on their ability to mitigate these risks and demonstrate the value of their AI-driven approach. The future of biology is being written right now, and it's a future filled with both incredible promise and potential peril. It's up to us to ensure that this technology is used responsibly and ethically for the benefit of all. What do you think? Is Latent Labs onto something truly revolutionary, or are we heading down a dangerous path? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.